Okay, we are live.
Live?
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. 10 a.m. Trying to make this consistent. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. we'll be here. Then we have another social media at 10:30. But we go live, take questions, and give you our opinions. But as you can see in these markets, opinions are kind of, it's like a swarm. They come in, you go with the flow. You get news, you go with the flow. People are just getting banged around. They're being reactive, and we think in a kind of market like this, you got to be proactive. And that's what we've been doing. And that's what's kind of holding up. We have the stories. So if the stories are there and we get to be proactive and the market just goes back and forth, eventually comes to your spot, trade around it. But we're trading. We're still sticking with that view. This is not an investable market. It's a trading market. I'll give you some examples just to make you understand kind of the way we're looking at it. This is the NASDAQ. Has it done anything? It's made a lot of noise. But look at this, right in the middle of the range. Nothing there. S&P is the same thing. How about some of the big name stocks? Okay, every week you get asked about something. We'll go to Tesla first because I'm staring at it. That's showing you anything? Nothing. Nvidia, okay, same thing. Is it showing you anything in Nvidia? Let's put it up here. See Nvidia? There it is. Nothing. Same thing with Amazon. Same thing with Google. Same thing with Apple. They're not showing you anything. There's no direction. But you're getting banged around. Why? Because you think they're just going to go right back up. Our opinion is this is probably where they belong. The fluff has come out. All that extra pricing, it was lofty. Now it's down around here, but down here, because the whole market comes down, then the ones with the stories are showing up. And what's the ones we've been on? We've been on this for a year and a half in gold and silver. What have we been on in the last month and a half is resources, industrial metals, and foods, basically the commodity sector. And that's what's been working. But we're getting chances with the market with this nervousness. You know our opinion in gold. I don't know what to say. Here we just keep going. No, more all-time highs. There's no reason to get out of gold. Gold can easily drop $200 here, which sounds scary, but it's healthy. So gold, we don't think gold's stopping. We traded our silver position. We long silver. We sold out. We got silver stocks on. We sold our silver futures up here. Okay, so we're out of our silver futures. If it comes back down, we're going to put them right back on. Metals, especially PGMs. Now, you got to pay attention to what the news, excuse me, how the market reacts to the news. Okay, some of the news this week has been affecting the big name stocks, affecting the dollar. Then you see it's kind of U.S. versus China, tit for tat. And China comes back with their offense and saying, we're looking at rare earth metals. We have them, you don't. You might not get them anymore. So what do we look at? We look at rare earth. There's no really way to trade it. But what's the peripheral metals? So we look at something like a uranium, something like a palladium. So what do we do this week? Okay. You know what we have on. We already have on UU. This is uranium. Now it's starting to go. Okay. We have this on, and I think we're going to be okay with this. We added on to our uranium mine, which is DNN. I'll show you that one. And there's another one. You know what? It got leverage because it's $1.50. Okay, so we added on to DNN a couple of times this week. So we think that one could go. So it's a way of us getting uranium exposure. Uranium, lithium, titanium, they got to be in play, and then they go. The thing is, it's the kind of thing where you hear about the story in the 6th, 7th inning. This is kind of the 2nd or 3rd inning. So 6th, 7th inning, everybody says, I got to get in, and this is when you catch the ride. That's why we're on a DNN. That's why we think UU is going to go. We think uranium could go. So that's one sector we're in. Palladium's another one we're looking at. Okay, we have palladium on. You know our opinion. We're longer term very bullish because it's cost of production down here. And now we think that's the next one to go. So if you want to find, this is palladium futures. We have this on. But how do you get long PGMs, which is platinum, palladium, rhodium? Well, our opinion is, and we have it on, if you're here, YouTube, we're a little new. Okay, we haven't been only doing this for about a month. But if you've been on us on all the other platforms, we've been on this one stock for a long time, SBSW. Well, we think it's starting to go now. I'm going to show it to you. There we go. This is what we want to see. Now we're starting to get some mileage out of this. It's one of our largest. We have 4 very large positions. This is one of them. Okay, and I think this one has got a lot of room. This one gives you platinum, palladium, and rhodium exposure. That's what we want. So we think this one could really start to go. The thing is, no one is in. This will be a name that will come up. You see the news, you read, and you say, okay, you call your portfolio manager or your broker or someone who's managing your money, and you say, you know what, I want to have some rare earth exposure. I want to get some gold exposure. I want to get some oil exposure. Well, if they say rare earth, probably the person will say, well, you want to maybe get long some PGMs. That's the first thing that's going to come up, SBSW, because there aren't too many stocks that you can get in to get this kind of exposure. So hopefully we're going to catch the ride here. This one. And think about it. I've been wrong for a long time on this one. You know what the edge will be? If I'm right on this one, I'm not giving it away. This one has got room. And when I say room, I mean room. Because this is the kind of thing that could just get me in. Because it's going to look cheap here, cheap here, cheap here, and cheap here. It'll look cheap all the way up. That's what I want to see, because that's when people say, I want in. And there's not enough liquidity to let them in. So this one I like a lot. And you can see it starting to work. Okay. Keep in mind, guys. Okay. I was bullish here. I was bullish here. Okay. I was bullish probably around here. So I've been wrong. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. I'm sure I've said the same thing here, and here. But the edge is the trading edge, not the investing edge. The trading edge is that if we go, we're going to be on this train. We're on it. We have our largest position, I said, on this. We have no reason. We don't even have, we have maybe one target up here. And that's because you want to see if it breathes off of here. But the fact that we couldn't pull back, you know, the way we have boot camps. We have a technical boot camp, shows you how I was taught to read charts, very different than others. We have a boot camp teaches you how to manage money, and a boot camp that teaches you how to price options. According to this, the way we read charts, this couldn't even give you confirmations back. When you see something, this is fantastic to be long and catch this run. Why? Because we said this last week. We would love to see it pull back here. That's bullish. If you don't pull back here, we should start the gap again. Remember, we said that last week. Now you get the same scenario. We would love to see it pull back around here and go again. But the thing is, if you don't, and you start to have another gap, that's when it's going to start to open. And they're not going to be 20, 30, 40 cent moves. Then you start to move 50 cents, 75 cents, $1. This could be one of the home runs that we think it's going to be. We do think it's going to be a home run. So that's one. Gold sector, told you what we did. Silver sector, I told you we sold some silver. If you remember, we put out a couple of clips. Pan American Silver was the one we had on. We traded around that one. The other ones we have on. I'm going to put up Pan American for you and show you. That's silver. And PAAS. Let me just find it. There we go. So this was one that said, you know, we got in nicely on this one. We got in down here. We sold it out. Okay. We have silver stocks on. Some we trade. Some we keep. Some we think of value. This one we traded, so we're out of it. We'll look to put it right back on if it pulls back. If you belong to RNTR, you'll know where we're looking to put it back on, because we want to put this right back on. But you got to navigate. Navigating is the reason why we're doing okay so far this year. Next one up, and this is serious in this one. We put this up, we made some clips, and we think the oil sector's put in a bottom. We said that last week, we said that about a week and a half ago. The way I was taught how to read future spreads, okay, I've been a commodities guy my whole life, over 4 decades. Okay, I see signals, I see indicators. They all came up when oil was around $60. But what do we want to be long down here? We want to be long gasoline. So we're long gasoline. I'm going to show you where we are. And I'm going to show you how we're also. So now gasoline, you had that rejection, that crazy price down there. I mean, think about this, guys. You're approaching the summer in the U.S. Gasoline is $1.88. Okay, down here. It's the wrong price. It's the wrong price. Okay, just seasonal wise. What I say to myself is, what's the sensitive side? If there's bearish news, how much more can it go down? If it's bullish news, it could pop. Now it's starting to, there's no bullish news yet. It's just bouncing. And if there is bullish news, it could go. So what do? We added on to the one that's been good to us all year, VLO. We sent out clips telling people we're getting in. Last week we told you we're scaling in this week into VLO, and that's exactly what we did. Okay, we have VLO on. We bought more. We bought a couple of times this week. Bought it at around 107 and 108, somewhere around there. And we have it on. We think this one's going to go. Okay, this is when you look at the price and what we have put into it, this is the largest oil position we've had in a while. That's how I like it a lot. Doesn't mean I'm right. I'm confident it's going to work. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I'm confident down here. So I think VLO is the one that could go. And this one, when it goes, you could see it moves. So if you grab it down here and you get just a move, just even up to here, what a nice trade that is. 15, 20 points you can make on VLO. We've been making 5, 6, 7 points on VLO easily half a dozen times in the last 8, 9, 10 months. Okay, we just find the spots. We trade on gasoline. That's the other sector. What's one that we put out yesterday? I don't know if you follow us enough, but we put out a clip because we got to our spot. It was natural gas. Okay. We waited the whole way down. We waited for natural gas to come all the way down here. Made a clip. Yesterday said we're buying natural gas. I'm not going to make a clip if I'm not going to do it myself. So we bought natural gas right here. So I'm going to see if it follows through. We waited for this This just took so many people out. We understood what that was. If you belong to the group, you know we avoided this. This was what the market was getting squeezed. It was an ARB, and you squeezed out some futures positions, and then but it caused technical buying. They got caught long. So the boat got bigger. The boat that got long got bigger up here, and it got heavy. Then people had to get out. Then you had sell signals, and we think it's right into our area. So right here, come back next week and it's down here. I'm wrong. If it holds around here and bounces, I think we got room to bounce all the way up to here. That's a nice trade. So what do? We bought natural gas futures. We also bought UNG. Okay, that's the natural gas ETF. It mimics natural gas. So we have both of those on as of the last 2 days. Okay, so you got my opinions. We got other commodities that we're looking at. We just cashed in on a few. We're looking at foods. We're looking at industrial metals, copper especially. We're watching the grain markets. Okay, and we don't have to trade futures. We have ways to get equity exposure. We have on Mosaic. We want fertilizer on. Okay, fertilizer, there was abundance of it. Now we think it's going to get sucked up. So you can catch a ride on fertilizer, MOS. Another one we've had on twice already, Bunge, BG, a food processor. Now it's starting to break out. So this is the way we could get you in. This is what, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Okay, I've been taught this all my whole life. So I look for these opportunities. All right, we got some questions?
Right now there are none. Guys, if you have any questions, put in the chat here, and we'll look into that. Do you want to show them the Discord or?
Yeah, this is where we are, guys. This is us. We're on all day, live Discord. Okay, and this is what I like. Just my opinion. When you see hearts, it means we're doing okay, and we're doing pretty good this year. Put this up the right way. Okay, I'm on all day with my comments. Okay, see, just talking about DNN like I was talking about grains. I'm not making this up. SBSW. Okay, so I'm going over natural gas. That's us. When we trade, we just tell you exactly what we're doing. Okay, we're looking at it. We'll tell you exactly where we are. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and say I bought this without you. I'm telling you what I'm looking at. We get to the area, it puts it on your radar, and then within a couple of minutes, if everything falls into place, we tell you what we're looking to do. Like I told you, doubling the VL up, adding more VL up. So exactly what I was telling you is right here. Futures, we trade futures on here. Futures have been probably our best performer this year. Why? I've been doing this a long time, so I recognize value, and I look for stories, and it's been working. So if you look at our futures, at the beginning of the year, people get intimidated by futures. Okay, we had doing well since January, just looking for the edges. I don't know how many people have opened up futures accounts in the last 2 months. Okay, they want to trade futures. Why? Because you can manage it. People are intimidated with the leverage. People are intimidated with margin. If you have self-control and you stick to a plan, you don't have to worry about those, because when you're wrong, you get out. Why would you let a market run in your way? We don't do that. Okay, and that's why it's been working for us. So we do that there. We have a webinar every Thursday. Guy Adami. Okay, he's on with us from CNBC, from CME. He gives an overall macro view of the markets. We took his, and he's been on fire. He's been on fire for a year and a half. He's been bearish on the market, calling every move in Alibaba, still as bullish as I am in gold. So think about it. The guy hasn't been wrong, and now he's bullish down here in oil. Okay, gets an overview of the market, puts a macro view on, and then we try to find trades out of it. And that's what we've been doing. It's been working every Thursday. We have a midday clip that comes out every day between 11 and 12. Go in, make adjustments. As you can see with the VIX out here, the reversals are the trades. So you go in the morning, you see a setup, and then it reverses. That's what the clip does. The clips, hopefully we recognize the reverses or recognize we're staying on the plan. This is big. We thought it was just, an added feature. It's become the most popular thing. Everybody wants to see the clip. Is there turns? Because we've taken advantage of the turns. The market is emotional. The market gets emotional, creates opportunities. I don't get emotional. Okay? I've been doing it. Every way that people losing money now, I've lost it over my 40 years. So I see the traps when other people don't. Okay? Only not because I find them. I've stepped in those traps how many years? I don't step in them anymore. And they create opportunities. So that's what we're doing there. All right. Back up here.
Do the trade log?
This is our trade log. Yeah, you want to see how we're doing? Okay, I'm not making things up. This is where we are for the year, guys. Okay, go this way, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is since January 1st. Now, that's not where we are. We're sitting around the low 70s. We're up in the 71, 72% for the year. But all the trades are here. This is just what's realized. Okay, the rest are unrealized. But you can see, these are the trades. There's nothing crazy here. Okay? You look at the equities, you look at the futures. No, there's no home run. These are the P&Ls. There's no home runs here. It's not like we went all in on something. We don't do that. We look for trades, we look for opportunities, and that's how we do it. And that's what it adds up to. So, like I said, if you're in the low 70s at this point, I think we're around 72%. You're up 72% for this year. Let me tell you something. I want to take you to first stake, okay? Because we're just using our edges. There's a lot of people this year that are down and down significantly, and the worst part is they're either in the penalty box because they can't trade aggressively or they can't trade at all, and we're taking advantage of that. Why? Because I'm using what I've been taught all my whole life. Okay, we have a story. Think about it. If you buy something, you talk about these big names, Nvidia and Google. They have the story here. It's the same story here, same story here, same story here. So how do you know what the right price is if it's the same story? I don't want to be in those. I use those as indicators. If we trade wheat, if we trade copper, if we trade gold, there's a different story here, different story here, different story here. I can explain it. You know what I'd like to do, and I've been doing this my whole life. If I lose money, we all lose money. I want to know why I lost the money. I don't want to have to look at TV or have to read why something happened. Okay, so yeah, you know what? I deserve to lose money. I missed that. And I make money. That's the way I like to trade. I don't want to lose on someone else's idea. And I'm using the edges. So we look for things that have stories. Because if they have stories, then if they go down with the tide, they're going to hold and we're going to get the bounce. Or if we're going to get out of positions. New thing that we've been doing in the market, loves trading options. I understand. But I don't think you understand the option market, how it's priced. We have a boot camp there. It's about 6 hours long. Teach you how to price options. We've been trading options. We've been making money selling options, not buying options, because there are no cheap options out there. But people look at it and say, listen, I'm buying these lottery tickets. Why would you pay $2 for a lottery ticket when it's worth $1.25? You keep doing that. And you know what? When it works, you're going to say, I thought I was going to get paid more. No, you paid too much to begin with. So when the market turns and vol comes in and the VIX comes down, we'll look at buying options. Right now we're selling. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, we're good on here. I'm going to go back to the screen just to show you. Okay, something like Palantir. We take advantage of the upside in this, not the downside. We grab some Palantir. We watch the market bounce. The calls, they got very expensive. What do? We sold the calls. Sold the calls up here. They expired last week. We earned $5 being long. Plus, we bought it at 80. It's trading up here at 90. So we still got the stock on. Fine. Got it. You know what the edge is here? By catching that extra $5, plus having this little bit of room. When you scared everybody down here, we didn't have to be scared. We were never out of the money when you add it all up. What do we do again? When those options expired, we went right up and we sold options again when we got up here at the beginning of the week. Think about it. You start the new option cycle. We sold options now. We got $7.50 for another 3 or 4 weeks. So we're sitting here with a stock down here, got paid $5. We're getting paid another $7.50. It could sit around here, we get paid. If it goes lower, we still got to get paid. If it goes down, we're not uncomfortable because we got all this room. All we're giving up is the upside. Fine. You get up above here, we don't have any more upside up here. I'm okay with that because we've captured and captured and captured. That's the way to take advantage of the option market, the way we look at it, not the way other people looking at it. People looking at it the wrong way, in my opinion. I'm real serious about that. I think people are playing it the very wrong way in the option market.
All right, we have a question. How about you take a look at NEM?
Newmont, yeah, that's one of the gold stocks that we like to trade, not one that we like to marry. We have a few that we love. This is one we trade. NEM. Here we go, NEM. Okay, doesn't show me. Oh, look at that. We got real time down.
Oh, no.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, guys, my chart won't come up because I got an interruption, as you can see. It might come up now.
There we go.
Okay, this is one that we trade. Okay, think about it. This used to be a $30 stock. Okay, it came all the way down. We had this on. We traded a few times. We don't have it on now. What we want to see here, because we still like gold, but gold can test. If Newmont pulls back in here, that's our test. Then we'll look at Newmont down around here. But up around here, this is one I would sell. If I had, we usually have half a dozen gold and silver stocks on. So some we sell. This would be one I would sell and get confirmation down here, see if the story is real.
I think we have a question here. I think they're looking at JBLU, that JetBlue, correct?
JetBlue. We have JetBlue on. And that one hasn't worked. And we added on a couple of times. You know, this looks okay. But it, looks okay, but it's not impressive because it rejected. But it's got to get back above $4.50, $5 to be impressive to me. So right now, we're on from here, and from here. Okay? We don't just keep adding on. We just think down here the price is too cheap. If the price of energy is going to stay cheap, jet fuel, JetBlue is very sensitive to the price of jet fuel as compared to other airlines. Other airlines have actually bounced, so we think this one's going to bounce.
All right. Those are our questions in the chat right now.
Okay.
It's currently 10:20.
Yeah, so we'll
be
off now. We'll be back next Saturday. We're going to try Wednesday. Want to see if we can get this done. If we do, we'll be here Wednesday at 8 a.m. The markets are moving, guys. These are opportunities. And the opportunities are here not to invest. We're not investors yet. The opportunities are to trade. And as you can see, just by looking at the book, what we've been doing, they're trades. And when that dries up, then we'll look at something different. But while the market is nervous, the market is uncomfortable, the market is news sensitive, we will take advantage of that. I'll see you guys either Wednesday or definitely next Saturday at 10 a.m.